Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, and today we're talking about how you farm Cetus Wisps inside of Warframe in the new Plains of Eidolon expansion. Now, if you're not familiar with the Cetus Wisp, it is a crafting material found inside of the Plains of Eidolon. It's actually some type of living creature, and they are found floating near bodies of water, pretty much any body of water in the Plains of Eidolon, except for the ocean. They just kind of float there, and when you approach them, they kind of look at you, and if you don't run up to them and grab them fast enough, they eventually float up into the air and disappear. They kind of look like a miniaturized floating sentient or floating Eidolon, but they don't attack and don't appear especially scared of you. And basically all you gotta do is just run up to them, walk through them, and you pick them up. You get one whole Cetus Wisp. Now, the tricky part about farming for Cetus Wisps is you need a fair number of them if you're going to be building any of the moat amps that allow your operator or your inner child to come out and fire his weapon, his or her weapon, and farm and hunt the Eidolon terrorless. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for them whenever you're roaming about the Plains of Eidolon. Especially when you're doing bounties, if you happen to pass by a body of water, just check around the outside of it. You'll see something hovering above the ground. Run up, it's probably a wisp, mark it for your other team members, pick it up, and go about your merry way. And if you really want to farm the Cetus Wisps, which is definitely something that I would recommend because it's the quickest way to do it, your best bet is to make a quick little lap after just free roaming into the plains, just without a bounty or anything. Just go into the plains, take an immediate left as you exit the door, make a little lap around that little pond there that has that geyser in the middle, head over to the large lake, do one lap around that large lake, and head back to the door. These two areas seem to have roughly the best spawn rates for wisps, and are the closest to the door, and are probably your best bet for power farming in the event that you need a lot of them in a very short period of time. And that's really about it. I'll include a map in the video description below that shows every single spawn point for wisps on the map if you feel like being especially thorough, hopping in your Archwing and doing a quick patrol, but really just taking a quick check of both that pond and that lake is probably your best bet, because you can spend and waste a lot of time searching every last nook and cranny of the plains for even one wisp. Now, there are a couple of little tidbits to know about the wisps, their spawn rates, and how they behave when you're playing with other people, and that is quite simply, Cetus Wisps can spawn at about any time of day, doesn't matter if it's day, night, or the transition in between, and it doesn't matter if you shoot around them. The only thing that matters is once you approach within a certain distance of them, you only have a couple seconds to run through the wisp and pick them up before they disappear. If you're playing with other people, each wisp is instanced to every individual's particular game, so everybody can pick up the exact same wisp. They should all spawn in relatively the same place. It's also worth noting that they show up on different item tracking mods or abilities on your mini-map, so if you're just kind of cruising along and you don't want to like keep a sharp eagle eye out, you can just look at your mini-map. And they also benefit from resource boosters, so you can use some plat, get yourself a resource booster to get up to 2, and if you're playing on like a resource booster weekend, you could potentially get up to 4 every time you pick one of them up. So that's about it for this one. I'll include a quick little map of my recommended farming path or patrol path for looking for Cetus Wisps. And until next time, I've been your host, Larry. This has been another look at some tutorial stuff from Warframe, the Plains of Eidolon, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody!